The world of showbiz has been left stunned by the sudden death of screen legend Sam Neill, just weeks after revealing he was cancer-free.
July 13, 2026. A statement goes up on Instagram. Just a few lines, but they're enough to stop the internet cold. Sam Neill is gone. The man who made millions fall in love with dinosaurs and danger in Jurassic Park, gone. Not after a long, public decline. Not after some slow goodbye. Just, gone. Suddenly. Unexpectedly. Months after telling the world he had finally beaten cancer. His family called it sudden. Even the people closest to him didn't see it coming. But somewhere, far from the headlines, one woman felt this loss differently than almost anyone else on earth. Nicole Kidman. Because before she was one of the biggest names in Hollywood, before the Oscar, before the red carpets, before the world knew her face, she was 18 years old. Standing on a boat. In the middle of the ocean. Terrified. Filming a movie that would change everything. And the man standing across from her was Sam Neill. He wasn't just her co-star. He became something rarer. Something most people in this industry never find. A protector. A mentor. A friend who stayed by her side for almost 40 years. So when the news broke that he was gone, Kidman didn't stay quiet. She spoke. And what she said broke hearts across the world. But to understand why her words hit so hard, you have to go back. Back to a terrifying film set, a scared teenage girl far from home, and the older actor who quietly changed the entire course of her life. Because this isn't just a story about fame. It's a story about the one person who believed in her, before anyone else did. And it's about to get a lot more emotional. Nicole Kidman is barely out of her teens. Not a star. Not even close. Just a young Australian actress hoping for one real break. She finds it in the last place anyone would expect. A psychological thriller called Dead Calm, shot almost entirely at sea. The role demands everything from her. Heavy, terrifying scenes. Opposite two far more experienced actors, Sam Neill and Billy Zane. For a teenager stepping into her first major lead role, that alone is overwhelming. Now add the isolation. Miles from land. Miles from family. Nowhere to go if things go wrong. That's where Sam Neill steps in. He doesn't just act alongside her. He watches out for her. Kidman would later say it herself, at just 18 years old, he took her under his wing. Not because a contract told him to. Because he actually cared whether she was okay. And it works. Dead Calm becomes her breakout role. The film that puts her on Hollywood's radar. The one that leads to everything after. The Oscar, the decades of iconic performances, the career the entire world would come to know. But here's the part almost nobody talks about. Long after the cameras stopped rolling, the bond didn't fade. It should have. Most industry friendships do. 30 years pass. Different careers. Different countries. Different lives entirely. And yet it survives. In 2019, that friendship steps back into the spotlight. Kidman and Neill reunite at a Big Little Lies panel, standing beside Laura Dern. Neill's old Jurassic Park co-star, and Kidman's own co-star on the show. For fans watching, it's a rare glimpse into something real. Something that never needed cameras to exist in the first place. To the world, Sam Neill was Dr. Alan Grant. The paleontologist. The action hero running from raptors. The charming leading man of the hunt for Red October and the piano. A screen legend with a career spanning 50 years. But behind that image, he was quietly fighting something far scarier than anything on screen. And what happened next, nobody saw coming. March 2022. Sam Neill is in the middle of promoting Jurassic World Dominion. Interviews. Photo shoots. The usual whirlwind. Then he notices something. His neck looks swollen. His own agent has to cut a few promotional photos because of it. He barely thinks twice about it. Until the swelling doesn't go away. He goes to a doctor in Sydney. Describes the lumps. And he's told, it's probably nothing. Just undetected COVID. It'll pass on its own. It doesn't pass. A week later, it's worse. This time, doctors send him in for real testing. And what they find is not what anyone expects. Stage 3 angioimmunoblastic T-cell lymphoma. A rare, aggressive blood cancer most people have never even heard of. For an actor known for playing calm, capable heroes on screen, this is a real fight. No script. No stunt double. No guaranteed ending. Chemotherapy starts almost immediately. For brutal rounds, while he tries to hold on to some version of a normal life. He would later admit it himself, there were nights he genuinely believed he was dying. But what he does next reveals exactly who Sam Neill really was. Instead of disappearing to face it all in private, Neill does something nobody expects. He starts writing. The result is his memoir, Did I Ever Tell You This?, a book he begins during chemotherapy, when the days feel endless and uncertain. In the very first pages, written while he's still undergoing treatment, he writes a line that stops readers cold. The thing is, I'm crook. Possibly dying. I may have to speed this up. No drama for effect. Just the truth. By late 2023, finally, good news. Remission. 8 months cancer-free. But even then, it isn't over. He still needs infusions every 2 weeks, indefinitely, just to keep it from coming back. He compares it to going 10 rounds with a boxer. Exhausting. Relentless. But worth it, he says, because being alive is infinitely preferable to the alternative. And somewhere in that fight, something else becomes clear. Sam Neill isn't afraid of dying. He says so, more than once. What actually terrifies him is the thought of not living fully in whatever time he has left. So he keeps working. Keeps filming. Keeps tending to his vineyards in New Zealand, far from any spotlight. Then, April 2026. The update fans have been waiting for. Completely cancer-free. Full remission, thanks to an experimental treatment most patients never even get access to. It feels like the ending of a story that finally went right. But real life doesn't always follow the script. Just months later, everything changes. July 13, 2026. Sam Neill's family posts a statement none of us are ready for. Sudden. Unexpected. Sydney, Australia. 78 years old. The message uses the Maori word wana, family. It says he was surrounded by loved ones. That he passed with the same dignity that defined his entire life. And then, one detail that makes it almost impossible to process. He was still cancer-free when he died. The disease that hunted him for years never got the chance to win. For fans, it feels unreal. Just weeks earlier, he'd appeared in a light-hearted Super Bowl commercial with his old Jurassic Park co-stars, laughing, taking a selfie with a digital T-Rex. He looked healthy. He looked happy. He looked like a man who had beaten it all. And then, without warning, he was gone. Tributes start pouring in from across Hollywood almost instantly. Co-stars. Directors. Friends from a career that spanned 50 years. All of them remembering the same thing, a man who was warm, funny, and endlessly kind. But one tribute stands apart from all the rest. Nicole Kidman. And what she says next, says everything. In a statement to the Sydney Morning Herald, Kidman doesn't hold anything back. She calls him one of the greats. A joy to be around. Then she goes further, taking everyone back to where it all began. A scared 18-year-old girl who found an unlikely guardian on a film set out at sea. Charming. Kind. Funny. Intelligent. He will be greatly missed, she says. And her heart goes out to the family he left behind. This isn't some polished, distant industry statement. This reads like something written by a woman who just lost a piece of her own history. And that's exactly why it hits so hard. This isn't one celebrity commenting on another celebrity's death. This is a woman honoring the person who helped shape who she became, decades before the world ever knew her name. For almost 40 years, Sam Neill quietly remained part of Nicole Kidman's story. Not a daily presence. Not a headline. Just something steady, something foundational, running in the background of her entire career. Until suddenly, painfully, it was gone. His death didn't just take a beloved actor from the world. For Kidman, it took the one person who believed in her before anyone else ever did. In the days that followed, the tributes kept coming. Co-stars. Directors. Fans who grew up watching him. All remembering the actor, the writer, the vineyard owner, the man who faced cancer with honesty instead of hiding from it. But Nicole Kidman's words remain some of the most personal, most human of them all. A reminder that behind every red carpet friendship, there can be something real. Something built decades before fame ever entered the picture. Sam Neill spent his final years exactly the way he said he wanted to. Not afraid of dying, but determined to keep living. He got his remission. He got his cancer-free announcement. He got more time. And in that time, he was remembered, cherished, and loved by the people who knew him best. Some friendships don't need the spotlight to survive 40 years. They just need one person who decided to show up for another, back when it mattered most. So tell me, what do you think made a bond like this last almost 4 decades? Drop your favorite Sam Neill role, or your own memory of him, in the comments below. And if you want more real, honest stories about the people behind Hollywood's biggest names, subscribe, because there's more of this coming.